How you guys doing? This is William Myers, Mantis Outdoors, and today I have an interesting knife review for you. It is Chris's knife from LT Wright Handcraft Knives, the JX2, the Jessmuk, which I really can't say with a straight face, but you see, the most outstanding feature of this knife is obviously that big belly that's on there right now, and I'm interested in seeing what that is going to do for some of the techniques that I'm going to use this for. We're going to find out. Overall, I say the knife profile is pretty impressive to me. It's a 4.5-inch blade and a 5-inch handle, obviously full tang, got a heck of a 90-degree spine on it, and it's a pretty not too aggressive jimping on it. Scanty ground, almost to a mirror polish, absolutely razor sharp. The Scanty is one of my favorite grinds. This handle, amazing, guys. This is a great handle, perfect. This is an amazing handle. There's nothing more to say. This fits great. One of the most impressive handles I've ever held. I almost even like it more than the GNS, which is also made by LT as well. This is a great handle, one of the best I've ever held. This almost beats it, guys. This is really comfortable. Awesome. So let's get this on some wood, see what it does. You know, one of the things that a blade that has a big belly like this is going to lend itself to is slicing. You're going to have no problem following through with slicing and things like that. So, you know, one of the first tests I'm going to do is just see how it feathers on feather sticks. When I first start out, I like to make really big, thick curls, because that's what's going to fuel my fire.
After you get going on that, try going the other way with it.
That would just be totally unnatural for me, like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
tilt it up.
That's completely unnatural
go
for me.
down and push.
Yeah, no way. That's totally and completely unnatural for me.
I like it better.
Yeah. So that Scanty grind is really, you got to be careful with it, because if you pitch it too far, it's really going to grab wood. So let's try a little bit of a lighter touch. It's doing a good job so far. I find that if I come in here and just hold that edge, it wraps the ridge that I previously did and just does a beautiful job at feathering. That's awesome.
And what I'm finding is the way that edge is, like you said, you found an easier way that's easier for you, and the way that I found is easier for me is completely different.
Well, it's nice that you have, I would say, almost different angles on this, because if you see what I'm talking about this right here.
Yeah.
This little cut right here, that will grab the ridges that I previously made and just follows it right down, contours right down, and does a perfect feather. And you see I'm practically making a broom right now.
That was the goal with bringing it up like that to the guard.
That is running really smooth on this pine that we got here. Yeah, that's impressive, Chris. Pretty nice, brother. Now, of course, everyone's going to say, oh, Chris is your best friend and you're unprepared mind 101 all the time. Look, guys, Chris is my best friend, but with my ethics, I mean, I'll just be honest with you. He has another knife
that he hates,
that I hate. I absolutely will not touch the knife. This, I'm liking so far. Pretty nice.
I was going to get you a custom Jessica X.
Yeah.
Engrave your name on the blade.
Yeah, you might as well put wall mounts on it, because that's all it's going to do is hang on my wall.
Well, that one definitely ain't for everybody.
No, that's a niche knife. You know, it's not for everybody. But I'm pretty impressed so far with this, and you know, by now I probably would have already stopped and just called the test good, but I'm just having a you know, good amount of time having fun here with this, feather sticking this pine out. And like I said, I'm practically making a broom here, man. It's running on this wood, very smooth, glide. You don't see me, when you see a knife that's not running good, you'll see it almost hiccuping on the wood like this. This is just effortlessly gliding down the wood, really smooth.
A lot of that is LT's edge.
Yeah.
What he's using right now, I've used this for several days, plus my own video, and I have not sharpened this knife at all.
It's running really good. Now I'm getting the feel for the knife. This is the first time I've even touched this knife, guys. This handle, like I said in the intro, is perfect. But still, the first time I've touched this knife, the first time I'm using this knife, I'm just now starting to get the feel for the edge itself. And I'm starting to run more of the edge. From when I first started, I was only kind of trying to run this part of the edge. Now I'm getting more into the belly right now. I find if you, with knives that have big bellies like this, if you cock it straight up, almost like you're pointing it at your eye, you're gonna get a nice slice. If you want to follow all the way through. When I'm feather sticking, it depends, but normally I will not move the knife through the wood. Normally it'll stay stationary and just go straight down. Or if I'm wanting to cock my feathers in a certain direction, I'll cock my feathers to one point or another. But that's all about your knife. You know, if I need feathers to go in a certain way, I can do that. Make one big one there.
It's too much fun, isn't it?
Yeah, it is really nice, brother. Speed it up here. Pretty nice, man. So I'd call that a pretty good feather stick, guys. That's amazing. Cool. Now the one thing with knives that have big bellies like this is that your point of contact, say like I said with a feather stick, when you make a clearing cut, you're gonna make 2 ridges and then you follow your ridges down. That's how I teach people how to do feather sticks. As far as that goes, your point of contact with the wood is minimal, so you're not gonna have any problems. Sometimes when you're planing wood, like say for a hearthboard for a bow drill set, your point of contact should be a lot bigger and you might run into some issues. So let's test that out, see what happens. See, this will do really good. Also get kind of a batoning demo as well, same foot here. Yeah, that drop point in there, I don't know if there was any other way to design that to where it would come out straight, but that might, no, it really doesn't hinder the baton too much. So I mean, this isn't going to make the greatest hearthboard in the world, I guess, but let's just slice it down a little bit, straighten it out. Actually, slicing obviously is really good. I mean, that's what the main feature or design of a knife like that would be slicing. But let's try to plane with it. Okay, it's grabbing really big chunks, real big flat pieces, and I can see from the last piece that I took off where to go next. Yeah, this is not doing too bad. Let's see if we can straighten this out. So when you're planing with a straight edge knife, like say something like this, you know, you're putting it against the flat surface and you're taking away everything that doesn't meet that surface. Just like this. So with this knife, it's doing a good job, but with the angle of that belly, you kind of got to bring your wood to meet that angle and then plane it out. But now it's nice and flat. Just a nice demo of how this knife's going to plane wood. Pretty good in my opinion, not bad. That's the only concern I had when I first seen a knife with a belly like that, was how's it going to plane? What's the point of contact going to be to the wood? So I'm pretty impressed with those two tests so far. Let's try some notchings and small carving tasks, things like that, see what it does. All right, so let's do some notching with this, see what that does. Just got a decent sized little stick here. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. It really hogs into that wood once you get into that belly. See, when I'm feather sticking, I'm down here. When I'm carving, I'm up here into this belly. So I mean, you got options when you're using this knife. That's good. I'm digging it, man. I'm liking it.
And then you can rock it like that to clear it out.
Yeah, I'm liking it, man. I've never had a knife with anything even resembling this. The biggest belly on a knife I've had is a French trade knife, and it's nowhere near the huge belly that this has. So
And that one's centered.
yeah, that's beautiful, man. This is one of those knives that I said, okay, I'll use it, but I wasn't sure how much I'd like it. Like, yeah, it's a pretty wild design, Chris, you know, but the more I'm using it, the more I'm impressed with it. And that's pretty nice notch in a matter of seconds. Let's try to bust a square notch out. This is just the standardized testings that I do when I'm using a knife. When I do the same test over and over and over again, that just means I know how one knife performs against another with that same test. So that's why you guys see some of the same tests over and over and over again. Nice.
Quick.
Yeah, that was real quick. Just popped it right out. And that's because the aggressive grind of the scanty grind and that big belly just dug under and popped that notch right out. Beautiful. It's working really good, Chris. You did a good job here, brother. Nice. See, that point, I'm thinking it's pretty aggressive enough that you could start a bow drill hole, a divot for a bow drill.
That's part of why I wanted that point to be center line, to be more useful.
Absolutely. Good job, brother. Nice. I'm digging it so far. So let's go back to this feather stick here. I want to put some more on it, and then I'm going to light it with the spine of this knife, see what it does. And when I'm going to actually light a feather stick, first of all, I want tons of feathers, unless I'm doing multiple sticks. But then what I'll do is I'll get down to where there's a flat surface on this feather stick, right here on this edge, right here. Especially when there is a knife that I'm using that has jimping like this. And I'll take that jimping and I'll center it right in one of that line. And just run it down. little fluff there. All right, let's see what we get here.
I'm gonna try getting some fluff with the flat part because I didn't do that on mine.
The spine?
Yeah.
Sure. Let's go do something else though. Let's try this stick here. Add it to the pile. It's kind of hard to use it up here. It went out. Okay. So I'm trying to get ahead of that jimping because that jimping is just going to destroy a ferro rod. There we go.
That feels good.
You know, obviously a blade like this is really going to lend itself to skinning and butchering. And I think when this actually comes out to production, I'm going to get one. And I'm going to have it for me when I'm hunting, you know, deer hunting and things like that. I want to see how it processes animals out. That's the one test that we're going to be lacking today, unfortunately. But let's see how the reverse grip feels. Not awkward, but with the curve of the handle this way, it's extremely comfortable this way. It still feels okay this way, but maybe feel a tad bit unnatural. But hang on, take this off real quick. Right. So and when I'm doing this chest lever, I could choose the pitch of my knife when I draw it back. If I want to take a small chunk, all I do is just lay the blade flat, plane the wood. When I come back, I can dip in and take a huge chunk. So that's the good thing about this chest lever too, is that you have a lot of torque and you can take big chunks. Same would be said for, let's say, like a knee brace. Let's just get a good point on this. See what that does. There you go. Any vampires you want to kill?
No comment.
Alright.
I don't believe in vampires.
Alright, so there you go, guys. That's pretty much the standard test that I do with a knife. And this performed beautifully. You know, getting it in the hand took very small amount of time to get used to and get form with it. Techniques that I usually do with other straight blade knives came very quickly. I'm impressed. I'm really impressed. I have to say this is the first one of Chris's knives that I'll probably be packing with me at some point.
So as far as the concept goes, as far, you know, other knife makers should start messing with that more. I mean, it looks funny, and I think that's why people don't do it.
Well, it's not hugely out of the box. There are other blades out there that have a really aggressive belly, not exactly like this one. I just really haven't messed with them very much myself. Like I said, you know, I kind of prefer, you know, a straight blade, something like this, you know. But in using this, I can see where the thought process that you had was, and it came out very good in my opinion. So like I said, I more than likely, when this comes out, you'll be giving me one.
I like how it went from I'm going to order one to you'll be giving me
Oh,
one.
you'll be giving me one of these. I'll get one somehow, some way. Trust me, brother. Yeah, it's just nice. I like it. And like I said, I wouldn't say that I would carry it. I wouldn't say that it would be on my side if I didn't like it. You know, like I said, Chris is one of my friends, and he had a knife that he made from charade not too long ago. I said, don't even put that thing in my hands. So for me just to be doing this video says something. That's what I'm trying to say, basically. The edge, after all that we've done, is still rocking and rolling. We'll probably go inside and do a little extra piece at the end of this video, showing you how sharp the blade still is. So obviously, you know, sheaths for this knife. What we have right now is just a regular sheath from LT. You know, this is actually really huge. It's the only one that you had. This is kind of in the prototype phase, so just gave us something to use. But you know, I've gotten knives off LT before. If you do get this knife, standard is probably going to come with something like this anyway. That being said, I'm a leather guy. Everybody knows that. I know I like Kydex, but I'm a leather guy, so this would be a good option. I would probably prefer something probably from like a Voyager Leatherworks, a Scout Draw, something like that. That would be really nice with a knife like this. A Kydex rig, it's going to be a little difficult for you Kydex guys to do this knife. Not hugely difficult. You'll be able to, yeah, you'll be able to figure something out. Probably something that's going to lock up and out. Other than that, like we said, just from touching it, I could still tell it's absolutely razor sharp. Oh, if I can get a good, yeah, it's absolutely razor sharp still.
A little bit harder to pull that off with a big Scandi, but
yeah, see guys, it's still gnarly sharp.
Still has not been sharpened, so this is going off to the next person with a factory edge still.
So who is the next person going to be, you know?
Probably Larry Roberts.
So Larry Roberts, hopefully you like this knife, man. You're probably in for a treat, brother. Alright guys, well, it's been William Myers, Mantis Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there's some more of my previous videos that are playing in the screens to my left right now. There's also a subscribe button over there. If you haven't done so, I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. To stay up to date with what I'm doing with my school and the YouTube channel, stay posted on the videos that are going to be uploaded. You can go to www.facebook.com/Mantis Outdoors, or you can go to www.MantisOutdoorsLLC.com. Liking my videos helps me and my channel out a lot. I appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods.